Hi, today we're going to talk about relieving tension in your mid-back. And it may feel like pain in your mid-back or just like there's a huge tough strap on your mid-back. And a lot of that comes from being seated at a desk. So the very first thing that I always recommend is that you start taking a look at finding more external rotation of your arm bone all the way up here where it meets your shoulder. So what I like to do is suggest that you find a place that's comfortable, and up here may not be comfortable due to sitting at the desk and having a lot of neck tension. So you might want to be somewhere down here. And I suggest just looking at your hand and sometimes keeping your hand on your rib cage down on the other side. And then watch your elbow do the rotating. So now my hand isn't doing as much. My elbow goes down and around and up and back. And my hand's just following. And then I watch what happens up here. And so I get even quieter in the lower part of my arm as I'm just trying to internally and externally rotate. And then I stop in external rotation and I think about reaching my fingertips away. And I notice how that feels. Now I think about reaching my elbow away and I notice how that feels. Now I reach my hand and touch behind me, my shoulder blade, and I think about just reaching the shoulder blade away. So the shoulder blade reaches away and it comes back in. So I'm not even thinking about my hand, it's my shoulder blade. I reach it away and then finally I tip my fingers to the ground. And if you spend a lot of time typing, you'll feel it tightening. Good. And then we'll do the other side. So we internally and externally rotate, and you begin by thinking about your hands, and then you move up to your elbow pit doing the rotation. And then way up here at the arm bone, the rotation happens. And then you hold. Oops, I went too soon. You move your fingertips away, and then your elbow away, and then your shoulder blade motivates it. You're starting to turn your palm up. Your shoulder blade is doing it. I started doing it with my torso. And then tip those fingers down. Good. Then we circle back to the right arm and we're just going to allow the right arm to reach out while we tip our head, and we're just going to angle. So maybe first, if your head's way out here, let's pull it back in. So it's just as if you tucked your chin just a teeny bit. You're not yanking it. And then you turn it. Then you reach away and you put your hand here and you just feel the little drag. You can close your eyes and breathe. Your ribs should be relaxed and down. You should have an external rotation here, and you can play with it. This is the creative time. Just make sure, come back every once in a while, make sure you're in the right place, and just see, there are all kinds of movements you can make. Just see what you feel. You can do that same finger pointing down. Come out of it slowly. And the other side. Just looking for various movements and where I feel tension. Looking for more external rotation. Fingertips down. Slowly come out of it. Maybe do a few head circles, or we'll do half circles. Nothing really extreme, just gentle and slow. Then maybe all the way around. It's probably crunchy. And the other direction. Good. So now we're going to go to rhomboid push-ups, and we start with the block in between your hands, and you're not gripping. Your fingertips are straight, your arms are straight, everything's straight. You reach away, Your shoulder blades have gone wide on your back, and you pull it back in. Notice that the elbows aren't bending. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see it from here. So you reach away and you pull back. You reach away and you pull back. So my head and my rib cage aren't moving. My shoulder blades are doing the movement and my arms go with them. So we're going to take that and do circles. I'm going to turn my back to you so that you can maybe get a better sense of what I'm doing. I am going to have something in my hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch my shoulder blades in and bring them up near my ears. I'm going to keep them up, but get them to go wide, which you can see my elbows helping me, and that's okay. Mentally, I need it. They go wide and down. I pinch in. I travel up all pinched in. Then I go wide out and tall, and then down, and then squeeze. Keep squeezing as you go up, go wide, and then go down, and squeeze. And now we'll go wide at the bottom, travel up wide, squeeze in, go down narrow, travel out and up and narrow, squeeze down, go wide, go up and in and down. So those circles can feel really awkward, but it's really healthy to be able to move your shoulder blades in all of those directions. Very, very good for you. So the next thing that we're going to do is take a look at a little tactile help on your back with your half dome foam roller. So you get so that you're right where a heart rate monitor would be on your back. And let your head really rest. So my hands are really holding my head, and my chin is kind of tucked in, so it's fairly long back here. And I'm not going to change that, but I'm going to think about, I've got to hold down my ribs because I don't want to do that. That's my low back or my mid back. What I want to do is feel like I'm stretching my rib cage, and it's a very small amount. You can't really do much. I had a little crack. So I'm just trying to let the weight of my head with my double chin kind of wrap me. So you can see I didn't go very far, if anywhere. And I can move and find a slightly different place. Remembering to keep my double chin. And I could always climb back up and do a slightly higher place. I could switch hands. And then after I've done that, I can put both hands here and twist a little, but you get much more out of it if you lift your bum and you twist a little. And you can rub back and forth. Of course, if you have a full roller, you could do more rolling. And then we're going to come all the way down onto our back without anything under our head, and you're going to take a ball or a block and put it in between your legs. So you're on your back, the ball or the block is in between your legs, your feet are right below your sitting bones. Not going to use your arms a lot. You're really thinking about pushing your heels straight down into the floor to make an elevator out of your bottom. So notice that my ribs are not coming out of my body. I'm essentially opening up my pants crease and coming back down. So I'm not tucking and curling, I'm just simply pushing down with my heels and lifting up by squeezing my bottom. And that's all it is. Open and close. If you've done that 10 times, then hold and pulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and come on down. A nice thing to do is take a little windshield wiper of your legs in between, so you're not going to flop, but you are getting a little bit of a stretch. You're just letting both knees go one direction and then the other. I'm keeping my hand on my torso because I don't want to yank or pull on my low back, so I'm not doing a huge twist right now. And then put the ball back, bridge up, open and close. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and come on down. And do the same little windshield wiper. Now for the bigger twist, you can have something under your head. And I'm only going to go one direction because I have a wall here, but I'll show you. So in this case, since I'm going to bring my knee that way, it's my left knee that comes over. And if it is too much of a yank on my low back, then I'm going to put my knee here. If it's not too much, I could go further. But for me today, I think this is a good place to go. I'm going to take this hand up to the ceiling, and I'm going to start opening out to the side. You could do a straight arm, but what I actually like to do is bend and start thinking about my shoulder blade going to the floor, not my hand. And then slowly bring my elbow to the floor, and then maybe my hand. So I actually can show you the other side. I'll just scoot a little more this way. And I'm going to do the same thing. Bring my knee over. Then my right hand is up to the ceiling. And I'm just going to bend that elbow. And I'm going to breathe and allow my breathing to help me relax my right shoulder. Slowly with each exhale, I get closer to the ground. And then the rest of my hand comes to the ground. And I really suggest doing that instead of reaching for the ground with your hand and you've never really given your shoulder time to come down. Maybe it does come down afterwards, but it's essentially not the most tension-free direction to go. I like to allow the shoulder to come down first, so you might bend your elbow to help that happen. This is a great place to rest. So I am going to change the camera and, okay, so what are you going to do with the balls? Number one, when you're seated at a desk, you're going to roll your feet on the balls. That's pretty simple, and you can press your feet onto the balls. Then you're going to take a ball and come to the wall, and you're going to find your shoulder blade there, put it on the inside of the shoulder blade. Before you do anything with your hands, you're just going to roll up and down and side to side, not rolling on your spine. And then you'll probably move the ball higher up, and you'll do the same thing, side to side and up and down. You might feel a lot of tension right here. Those are your upper traps, and it's a really good place to maybe push more and go up and down a little more. You'll find your own way around that. Then what I like to do is when I find that maybe tender spot, is I start playing with my arm. And then there's all kinds of feelings that happen, and you can play with what you do with your arm, and maybe you find a place where, make sure your ribs are relaxed, you kind of rest into it. And then you'll do it on the other side. That's the key thing, but you can take both of the balls and put them in a sock so they're parallel like so they're on either side of your spine. And now you can look for more rolling and moving side to side, making little circles, and you just keep moving the balls and rolling on the wall. One of my favorites is to stop and just do a little of this. Maybe put them a little lower. Yeah, that's a good place. And maybe what I do, and if I didn't have a wall, I'd do both arms. That feels kind of good. So you just play with it. The other thing you can do is grab your block, and you take the ball and you're going to put it right there where there's a lot of tension from being at a computer. And so you can see that you roll in there. And I'm going to put it on this, well, I've got a mic right there. I'll show you that what I do, put it on that side, I'm pressing into it, and then do the same thing of moving your arm around, and you're going to feel those fibers. And you just move about on your own, looking for where is the right place for you, where the combination of rolling, pressing, and moving your arm helps you feel some more circulation coming to a really tight area. So the idea is that you're not really going to press into a knot and make it go away. What you're trying to do is bring more fluid to the area, more circulation to the area. That will help ease and allow your nerves to settle, and eventually the more water you drink and the more hydration you get and the better nutrition you get, it'll start to resolve itself. So the dangers of desk work.